current occupation?
I'm Kim Valentine. I am a teacher for the deaf and the deaf and hard of hearing program.
How long have you been a resident of Arcadia?
I want to say 49 years being a resident in Arcadia. Before that, I lived in Saint Matre when I was little.
What forms of social media do you utilize the most?
Facebook and Instagram, and that's pretty much all I use for social media, I think.
All right. And how many hours a day do you spend on social media?
I want to, I don't know, maybe like 2 hours or something like that. But I do a lot of newspaper because I can't hear on the radio, and like what people can do in the car. So I use a lot of just getting news so I can get what's going on in the current environment of the cities and in the world.
How would you say your use of social media affects your mental health, and do you think it's a net positive or negative effect?
In my personal opinion, I feel like it's helped me in a lot of ways because I don't always hear everything, and so I can get bits and pieces from friends and family where sometimes a phone call I can't really understand. But when, and on the radio, it's like I said before, but it's just it's been helpful for people who are deaf or hard of hearing.
And do you think social media has changed life in Arcadia?
Oh, yes. Huge. But I don't want to say in a negative way, but it's a positive way. But I feel like it's overuse, and we are people related, and we should be really more involved in the people who we see in person, not just on social media. And it makes me upset when you go to a restaurant, when you see a whole family on their social media, and where it's really supposed to be family time or friend time, to have that communication out there to communicate with one another.
Perfect. And do you think there are ways to remedy these effects and problems that you talked about with social media?
I don't know. I feel like it's getting worse every generation, and it's like, for example, going to the grocery store and having a mom talking to the baby, but she gives the 3-year-old or the baby an iPhone or any kind of, and they're playing their games, and it just, to me, it's like, oh my God, there's so much to talk about in a grocery store for a young, preschool age child, and because I teach preschool, so it's just like those children are lacking that communication skills and social skills that goes on in those early years, so that really upsetting.
How do you think education has evolved over time with the presence of social media?
I would say more for example, just reading a book with your child, a 2-year-old, 3-year-old. Most parents would just give the iPhone or phone and just let them read from but to me, that's not how reading works. Reading works where your child gets to read with you as a person, and really getting to know the picture, the illustration, and talk about it, and then grab it from their own experiences and talk about their own experiences coming from the book. And so I feel that it's lacking. There's no communication with the families and parents, and I really want to keep that going. And I try to, because children need that language. They need to be able to know what things are, what you do with those things, but just to talk to your children about that. And then I see that in my own preschool classroom. That is not happening.
As somebody who is deaf or hard of hearing, how would you say social media has helped you?
I think it's helped me tremendous because it helped me connect with other children, with other people, my family, and good friends through social media, because it's very hard to hear. Sometimes I don't always hear everything in the room or interacting. You know, just I miss pieces because I'm like going all over the place, but not really understanding what's really going on. And so that's really helpful for me, because back in, you know, before social media, we really had nothing. I mean, people were calling each other on the phone, and I'm like, well, I can't really talk on the phone very well. So I always had to have a family member help me, or like, you know, it's things like that, different. So, but I like coming over to people's houses, and that really helped me socially, to be able to talk and to be able to communicate with others.